a simple answer to that. No doctor, no person, no one can tell you, oh, you'll be healed in 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. And you don't know what to expect. This year was the most challenging, the most difficult. I got these terrible injuries, the house, the fires, so many things that are trying to knock me off my feet. It's either going to make you or break you.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Nick Trigili here, bringing you guys another episode of the Bodybuilding Coach. On this segment, we talk about training, nutrition, and supplements. So, to kick off this show, we are going to talk about my top 4 most overrated PEDs and growth hormone. Is in the category, actually. But, okay, so I got 4 things here in no particular order at all that I think are highly overrated and highly talked about way too much in the bodybuilding fitness world. Now, when I talk about these drugs, it's obviously just my opinion only. I am not giving any direct advice to anybody. This is just my opinion only, like I said, like I stated. This is not used for any type of medical purposes. I'm not a doctor. I'm just somebody who has been using this stuff for a very long time with a lot of experience, a lot of certifications, and I've been around this bodybuilding world pretty much my whole life. So this is where my information comes from. This is only my opinion, like I said. You may feel differently, which I'm sure a lot of people will about the drugs I'm about to name on here. But this is just from my experience, like I said, with my own body, with trials and tribulations, with other people's bodies. I like to give my opinion on stuff. It's controversial. It gives people an idea where my head's at, and it raises a good conversation. So why not, right? No reason to get angry over about what drugs I like or don't like, or maybe you might disagree or agree with some of them. It doesn't matter. Just my opinion. This is all for fun, guys, okay? So don't get so serious. I see the comments. You guys get very riled up about this stuff, but in no particular order, the first drug I'm going to name is called halotestin. Now, listen, I actually love halotestin, so I'm actually going to contradict myself this one a little bit. I like the rage I get from it, but honestly, it's very, 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 and very toxic to use for literally zero to little gains. It basically just makes you angry. You're not going to keep any gains you get from halotestin. There's literally no size from it. You're not going to gain any muscle from it. All it does is give you a really bad temper and make you want to snap everyone's neck. So it serves a purpose in the time being for maybe later in the prep when you're really down and out and need some extra kick in the butt for a workout. But also, I don't know if it's really worth the risk reward. You're not going to get that much harder, like and denser, and everyone says you're going to get fuller on it. None of that stuff really happens. I actually like to use Anadrol at the end of a prep. Halo does not do much as far as physical attributes go. Some people swear up and down they get hard as a rock from it, but it might make you a little tad drier, but that's what anti-estrogens are for. That's what doing the diet's for. That's what prepping's for. You shouldn't rely on halotestin to do all those things. And it's just short-lived. You know, you're not going to get anything from it. So what is the purpose of putting yourself at risk health-wise and your heart? Obviously, the heart is number one thing, and that's obviously what it affects the most. So, in my opinion, I think it's not worth it if you don't need to use it. You know, obviously, if you really want to use it, maybe for 2 weeks at a time, that's probably as far as I would go, 14 days. But people who use 3-4 weeks of it are crazy. And next drug in no particular order, HCG. Yes, HCG is overrated for a number of reasons. Listen, it has its place. If you're infertile or you have atrophy in your manly area, you're going to need it, obviously, to bring yourself back. But people overdo HCG left and right. They run it all year. They run it during a cycle. Their doctor told them to do this, told them to do that. They never come off it. That is ridiculous. That is how you suppress yourself. It's not because you're using testosterone. It's because you're using too much HCG post-cycle. And listen, HCG is not really for post-cycle therapy. Novadex and Aromacin is, and Clomid. That's your PCT. HCG just brings back your testosterone if you need to. Not everybody needs HCG. I try to tell people this. Majority of people do, but not everybody does. HMG is really what you really need to bring back your body if you're coming off permanently. But HCG, HMG, and Clomid is what you really should do if you're coming off permanently. But if you're obviously going to go cycle back on, there's no point in putting your body through that PCT if you're going to go back on again. That's like, it's like robbing a bank and going back in after you rob it, for a second time when the cops are there. It's like, why are you going to do that if you're going to go back and shoot yourself up again? It just makes no sense. And obviously HCG has a massive effect on your LA and LF hormones in your body. You don't want to do that to your glands. It's extremely toxic. It suppresses your natural test. If you take too much, it's pointless. The best PCT obviously is after you run HCG. Okay, so after you run your HCG for 2-3 weeks, whatever you guys are going to cycle, then you go on your Clomid and Novadex and Aromazin. That's your PCT. Okay, that's what's going to bring your body back and bring it back to life. HCG raises estrogen through the freaking roof. Through the roof. That's why you have to do this post-cycle therapy after you use HCG. It's just my opinion. I think there's other ways to go about coming off properly, like using HMG and HCG combination. I have a lot of information about this. So just a drug I want to point out that I think is highly overrated and highly overdosed, and people are talking about it way too much. They're so concerned about HCG. Meanwhile, it should be concerned about everything else other than HCG. The next drug is Clenbuterol. I hate Clen. Okay, I never used Clen during my prep. I used it one time. I never used it again. The side effects are horrific. The shakes, the trembles, the anxiety, the heart racing, just the uncomfortable feeling in my own skin, which I absolutely disapprove. So between my heart being under that type of stress from putting it under that type of tension, the gains that the amount of fat loss you get from it is absolutely not much. I think you burn 100 calories a day from it. I can do it up and down my stairs, So for the risk reward, it doesn't make sense. The amount of side effects it has doesn't make sense. I can't sleep on it. I can't focus. I can't write anything. I can't text anybody. I can't go anywhere. My hands are like this all freaking day. I feel like my eyes are vibrating. I just see it's so counterproductive. And obviously it's short-lived, so you can't use one pill a day. You got to take, 3-4 a day, because it's like the half-life is like 3 or 4 to 6 hours or something. And then you got to be on it. You got to cycle on and off it, because you can't be on it for too long because you become immune to it. So it's just so many different things. You got to jump through so many loopholes to use it. It's just not worth it in my eyes, guys. There's better fat burners over the counter from different companies that are way better than that product. And albuterol obviously doesn't do anything for as far as burning fat, so don't even say that either. So clenbuterol is just something that I think is like a fad in the industry. Everyone just knows clenbuterol. And I just really think it's highly overrated, and you'll get much, much more by being perfect on your diet, using a fat burner over the counter, or a transdermal cream where you're stubborn body fat, or just work hard in the cardio room. Okay, work hard in the training room, and that'll burn body fat. Clenbuterol is not going to get you in shape. Trust me. Don't depend on it. And last but not least, HGH. Yep, I said it. So I have mixed feelings about this one, because I know I'll probably get a lot of for it. But I love HGH if it's used in the proper setting. I think too many people have such high expectations for this drug, and they're let down. Listen, this is not the fountain of youth like they claim it is, okay? It is not going to make you Mr. Olympia, like some people say it is. It is not going to make you the best bodybuilder in the world. It's not going to separate you from the pack because you're using growth hormone now. By all means, do not waste your rent check on HGH. By all means, do not buy your family member a gift on his birthday because you got to buy your kits, or not, buy your food for the month because you need growth hormone. I hear the craziest stories all the time about people that think growth hormone is going to get them to the next level. And it's not. Honestly, none of these drugs are, if you don't have the potential and genetics to do it, and the hard work and the passion. These drugs will not make you the bodybuilder you want to be. What makes the bodybuilder is your heart and your passion and drive and desire to get there. These drugs will not, replace that. So, HGH, it does not magically heal your body. Okay, you're not going to get a cut and go, I'm on HGH, I'm going to heal tomorrow. Oh, I broke a bone, I'm on HGH, I'll put more in there. No, it doesn't work like that. That is the craziest thing I've ever heard. Gains. You're not going to become Mr. Olympia. You're not going to put on 20 pounds of lean body mass in 2 weeks. It's not going to do any of that, actually. It might make you a tad leaner in 2 weeks, maybe, if you're lucky. And it's not going to make you skinny when you're fat. Okay? It is not going to bring a fat person down to a skinny body in an amount of time. It doesn't do all that. You need to stay on it properly. You need to dose it properly. You need to buy the right kind. Just listen. It just doesn't have all these promises that everyone swears it does. Okay, and then someone goes and buys it, and they're very let down. They have these such high expectations for all these dramatic changes in their physique, and their potential is going to change. Their body's going to turn into like a round muscle belly machine, like Phil Heath, because they're using 2 IUs Nortropin. Like, it's not going to happen. Yes, it will help. It's just something else to add to the pile. In the long term, long vision, like down the road, yes, it will make difference. Yes, as long as you stay on it, just like anything else. As long as you're consistent with it and persistent, and over time, it will help in muscle maturity and getting more round and fullness in your pumps and stuff like that. But so will PEDs. So will PEDs. This is just something else you add to the arsenal if you can afford it, okay? It is not the end-all, be-all supplement drug PED you want to spend all your life savings on. If you can only afford PEDs, then use PEDs. Please, guys, just stop with the HGH and insulin combos and tell me it's going to do this and that. It doesn't. Trust me. I've done everything under the sun and then some. Like doses you couldn't imagine. And it does not do that to you. Trust me, it doesn't. And the pros are not doing what you think they are. They're not. That's because they're genetically gifted and they're way above us. That's why. And way above me, okay? And that's why I retired. So, on that note, guys, I love you guys all. Thanks for listening again. This is another episode of the Bodybuilding Coach. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you're following us at Generation Iron. And make sure you're following me, of course, Nick World Class. Guys, another episode of Bodybuilding Coach. Thanks again for watching. Nick Trigili, signing out.
There's no simple answer to that. No doctor, no person, no one can tell you, oh, you'll be healed in 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. And you don't know what to expect. This year was the most challenging, the most difficult. I got these terrible injuries, the house, the fires, so many things that are trying to knock me off my feet. It's either going to make you or break you.